Hey everyone, and welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm your host, Lauren Khalil. On today's episode, we're discussing the recent news of Eric Roza stepping down as the CEO of CrossFit and transitioning into CrossFit's board chairman. On the show to chat about the topic is the meme master himself, Make WODs Great Again, John Wooley. I'm sure everybody gives you that title, huh?
Yeah, a few times.
Meme master. And we also have a 17-year affiliate owner of Diablo CrossFit, Craig Howard. It's great to have you guys to talk with us about this topic. Let's just start with what either of your initial thoughts were when you saw the news. We know that CrossFit, they sent an email to employees. Rosa said that this had always been the plan. It was just kind of an expedited timeline. So, John, let's start with you. What were your thoughts when you saw that?
Well, I wasn't sure I believed that line, but that's worth. I mean, I'm kind of a skeptic, believe it or not, although I find myself to be optimistic about most things. I think they accelerated their own timeline for whatever that's worth. You know, the whole, the way the Dave situation blew up within the community and, as well as, some other mishandled things over the last year or so. I think they figured out they needed to move this up. It doesn't surprise me, though, that it would have been pre-planned. I do believe that piece. Like, it makes sense when you look at kind of the timeline of what Eric's done from when he's come in to now, that this is where he wanted to be eventually. I'm not convinced he wanted to do it this quick.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines. I imagine that he probably saw himself at some point in time being the chairman of the board and being out of the role of CEO. It's a tough position to be in any company, but especially in one like this with a community that is so established in a belief system that it has and all that it does, and having to negotiate or navigate all of those changes over the last year. It's been a difficult time, but I think it was accelerated, as John said as well.
Are either of you concerned about CrossFit's leadership in kind of the sense of the timeline? First, we saw Dave Castro, he was fired about a month ago. Now Eric Roza is stepping down. CrossFit says that they don't even have somebody in place as the new CEO. What are your thoughts about the leadership and even kind of the timeline that we're getting some of the news?
I say Craig goes first for that. He's an affiliate owner, so he's got more skin in this game than I do.
The news itself for me was disappointing. I had hoped that we'd have more stability at the helm for a longer period of time. I wasn't entirely happy with everything that Eric had done, but there were many things that I was happy that had been done. In terms of what's going to happen going forward, I'm hopeful. I've had an opportunity to speak to a couple of people that are close or that are within the inner circle, if you will, that have given me hope for what the future will bring. CrossFit itself, I mean, affiliate owners have survived for me 15 years without a lot of communication, without a lot of direction for what we're doing on an affiliate level. We've managed our businesses ourselves. In the last 2 years, we've been given more tools and more communication from the CrossFit HQ. But up till this point, it's been us on our own, and so not having a CEO. Tomorrow, I'll get up. Our 5 a.m. class will go off, and we'll have classes all day long. We'll have a great weekend. The workouts are great. Not much changes. So, and it could probably go like that for 2 years, and I probably wouldn't feel the effect. I'm hopeful that they put someone in place that has an understanding of what CrossFit is today, and how it came to be, the legacy of CrossFit, and what it represents for the current affiliate owners, older affiliate owners, and the community at large.
I think you hit it right on the head. People forget that CrossFit has a long history of not communicating well to affiliate owners, and I say that with love. Like, I have a lot of friends, and
right.
Have known a ton of affiliate owners over the years. That's always been the main complaint. So I don't have a lot of concerns that this is any different than that. And there are a lot of things that they have put in place over the last year that I like what the future looks like, and the messaging, around health and happiness, I think is a great message that will draw people in, and hopefully will draw more people into this, fitness craze that we love. I think if I could critique them around how this has all gone down, dating back to how the Dave thing was handled and how this is handled with nobody else is in place, is that CrossFit has always or this current leadership has, in my opinion, misunderstood how deeply connected this community is. And that the community at the affiliate level, and Craig will tell you, the gym members are constantly on a text stream with each other about everything. They're in each other's lives. And so, we're essentially shareholders of this business. Everything that happens matters to us because we care deeply about our affiliates. Now, the good news is, and again, Craig was right, these affiliates can go on for a long period of time because the heart of the business is still in the gyms.
Mm-hmm.
And so this event isn't going to cripple anyone's affiliate. Tomorrow, we're all going to go in, we're all going to work out, we're all going to hate our life for an hour and then go home and feel better about ourselves. But they'll have to figure it out relatively quickly because, when you have a business this size and you want to move it forward, you do have to have good communication out to the affiliate owners so they can do what they do best, which is help people.
I've talked to several affiliate owners since this announcement. My phone lit up this morning nonstop. And I had some good conversations with affiliate owners that have been around a long time about it and where it's going and questioning the affiliation and where do we go and do we stay with this? And, again, I reiterate what I said. Nothing really changes at my level. I'm still doing CrossFit. We're still bringing people in. We're still changing lives. What the affiliate owners want, the common theme I got from the conversations I had today and the text messages I got today, CrossFit affiliate owners, and this is what I've always said too, I just want CrossFit to take care of itself. I want it to build that brand, make it desirable, demonstrate what it does to change people's lives, overcome chronic disease, and fight metabolic disease, create a community that you can participate in to benefit your health and your overall life. Get that message out. If you take good care of the CrossFit, the brand, and make it a desirable place to be, we'll be happy because those people will want to come into our affiliates. More than anything else, all the tools, and Eric spent a good amount of time working on communication. Awesome, right? So communication improved dramatically. I heard from CrossFit more than I ever have, and people would call me for a short period of time. I was a regional rep. They would call me, and I immediately, I was able to get a hold of someone and get a call back to them, and they were shocked. They're like, "Man, I can't believe I haven't spoken to someone from CrossFit in years, and now I'm able to talk to them." That's great. That was literally phenomenal. And that's not an easy thing to do coming from an organization that didn't like to communicate. And then he built tools to help or enable CrossFit affiliates, especially new affiliates, to be better affiliates, especially at the start. And those are okay. Those things are great for new affiliate owners. For existing affiliate owners, we already have all the tools. We know how to do it. And we also know all the resources that are out there. And there's tons of resources. Shit, I get my email boxes full every day with software, with marketing, with all kinds of stuff that I can run my affiliate better. What we really want is CrossFit to take such good care of the name and to advertise that name so that people come in. I want bodies coming in the door that I don't have to worry. Now, I'm a 15-year affiliate owner, and I don't worry as much. I don't have to do as much marketing every month. I know I'm going to get 15 to 20 people that are going to come in and want to join my gym. And that's just the benefit of being around as long as we have and running good classes. But a lot of newer affiliates, the ones that are 5, 6, 7 years old and newer, they don't have that flow of people coming in. And the only way that flow of people is going to coming in is someone's out there marketing and doing the branding so that people walk in and go, I Googled CrossFit gym and I found your gym. CrossFit does that going forward, and they find a CEO that can focus on that, bringing people in the door. I think everybody will be happy, and we'll get to do what we do, which is making people fit as hell through functional movements executed at high intensity and constantly varied. It's not that hard. It works.
And kind of bouncing off of that, Craig, John, this question's for you. As somebody who really works in the business world, what are some of your thoughts on, it seems like CrossFit is taking that more corporate approach with some of their hires and people that work inside CrossFit. Do you think that that is the solution to keep growing people and they should be looking at somebody who's in the corporate world to replace the CEO position?
I'll answer that with a huge maybe. I think you need someone that understands CrossFit and the way the affiliates are built. Nikki and I were talking about this tonight, actually, on our show. I told her I hope they bring somebody in that's heart is in the affiliates, because if you don't understand what's going on day to day in the gyms, I don't care how good you are at business, you're not going to win. There's just no way. Now, with that said, you are going to have to be great at business. CrossFit doesn't even yet know what they have. Like, they don't know how many actual members they have. They don't have the data for it. So there's a lot of infrastructure that still needs to be built for them to figure out, how many people are actually CrossFitting both in affiliates and outside of affiliates, and capturing that data is important to know how to grow the brand. To Craig's point, like, they need to market it, but they're not even sure who to market it to, right? Like, so there are some issues. I think that they're going to need someone that makes a team of people, not just one. The person at the top has to understand the brand, and they have to understand it brilliantly. They don't have to be the smartest guy in the room around data, which Eric probably was, for whatever that's worth. They don't have to be the smartest guy in the room around business, but they do need to be smart enough to surround themselves with people that understand the business. I would see that as someone that could bring in affiliate owners like Craig and others that have been around for over a decade, that really understand what's going on, and take that feedback and apply it. And then I think they're going to have to be brave and go into markets that we haven't seen before, and be willing to challenge some of the things that we've done traditionally for decades. I mean, Craig will probably laugh at some of this. Like, when I started, CrossFit was all about how quick can we make you throw up. That's what it felt like. You come in and, can we make this guy want to quit? Like, that was my first experience. And those of us that are stubborn as hell, that worked for. But when you're really trying to grow out a brand to affect millions, you have to take a different approach. So there's going to have to be an evolution, and somebody that's willing to spearhead that evolution is going to be really, really important.
Just to respond to that, there have been a lot of new hires at CrossFit, and I have heard that has created some of the conflict between the OG CrossFit employees and the new guard that are newer. A flow master told me, if I get one more email from someone at HQ that says, "Hey, I'm excited to be on the team, looking forward to my first CrossFit workout tomorrow," I'm going to shoot myself. And John makes a good point. They need to come from this community. And the beauty is that there's millions of people that do CrossFit and have done it for years. And they cover a broad base of expertise in their careers. I've got doctors, I've got CEOs, I've got a wide range of experienced people just in my community here. And within the entire CrossFit world, there's got to be lots of people that are passionate about CrossFit, understand what the value is. I used to go to the DDC health conferences, and they were medical professionals, experienced people at the top of their fields that were coming, that had gotten their CrossFit level 1. And so those are top doctors. There are lots of people to choose from, and I think one of the hiring criteria for the board of directors should be, CrossFit experience. And there should be a few years of experience there, so that they can understand an affiliate, understand the legacy, understand where we came from. One of the reasons why people were so upset about, I believe, so upset about the firing of Dave is he was part of the legacy of CrossFit. And there's really, for us, kind of the two pillars that were remained, of maybe 3 or 4, but the two pillars that remained were Nicole Carroll and Dave Castro. And one of those pillars is gone. The first messages I got from everybody else was, is Nicole gone too? Is Nicole gone too? And while my newer members don't know who those two people are, a hell of a lot of affiliate owners know who those people are. And they represent what was great about CrossFit, what brought us into it, which was that it was hard, and that it changed our lives. And we developed a group of friends that are passionate about health and fitness and change their lives. And that person needs to know, I think, needs to come from here and really understand it, not just trying their first CrossFit. It would be the equivalent hiring someone that's been in it or maybe just starting or not even starting, would be the equivalent of me selling my affiliate to someone that's only been here in my gym for a few months. There's no way they would have an understanding. Half the members would leave, not because they weren't doing it right. It's because they just don't have a grasp and understanding. Yes, we all get excited when someone gets their first pull-up. That's cool. But there's so much more to it than that.
Roza came into the position as CEO when it was, arguably the worst and hardest time for CrossFit. He was inside the affiliates, but now that you could say that he's gotten CrossFit back on his feet. He's helped affiliates over the past 2 years. Do you think that this new position as board chairman is going to be better for the long-term picture once they do fill that CEO position?
That's a question.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I was going to say that's a question that you're better suited for that. I have an answer for it, but I'm going to let you speak. This is
as chairman of the board, assuming it's a traditional, board of directors, they're going to meet quarterly. Every quarter, they're going to have expectations for the company that they put forth. I'd love to know what those are, but he's going to have expectations for the company, for the CEO, and the CEO is going to come to that board of directors and make a presentation and get input and direction from all of the people that are on that board to help drive the future of CrossFit. I think it's, to be honest with you, after just what you said, based upon the last few years, those are stressful years. And this is, as we discussed, offline before this got started, it's a fickle community. People are really eager to go online and express their discontent. And if you're reading the comments, holy shit! I mean, when I got an email saying he was, dealing with, depression, he's like, well, no shit. I mean, you just the bombardment of opinion on the things that you do on a day-to-day basis. That's tough. And he's had to deal with some, legacy issues of people that have been here like me, that have been here 17 years and have a strong opinion about how things should go. Dave Castro, he's an amazing guy, but he's strong-willed. He's not an easy guy to manage. You're dealing with all of that. That's tough. And so I think this is a better role. Like if I'm Eric, I'm envious of this role. Like as chairman, and then put in a CEO that is ready to handle this day-to-day shit. And 60 Minutes did a piece a long time ago. I don't know if you guys remember this. And they did a interview with Greg Glassman, and they talked about what he's done, and they compared CrossFit to being a biker gang. And I don't know if it was Glassman this. I can't recall if Glassman said it or 60 Minutes said it, but it was a lot like a biker gang. And there's a lot of truth to that, in that it was, here's these anti-establishment views regarding fitness, and the battle against chronic disease and the food companies, the beverage companies, and the NSCA. All of these battles and fights that they were taking on, and the community rallied around that. And it was loosely managed, and there, some people were on the inside circle, some people were not. That's what Eric Roza walked into, right? He's coming from corporate America, and in the high tech community into, the leader of a biker gang. That's tough. That's tough.
Well, to his credit, he's bald like a biker, so that worked out for him.
You would know, John, right?
Well, he stole my look. I mean, let's just admit it. He took everything about my look and just ripped it off. I think this is a much better role for him. I think he set it up for whatever that's worth. I mean, you can just kind of look at the progression. He came in, he got rid of the kind of the established guard. I would call it entrenched management in banking, but got rid of them, brought in his own people from other industries, obviously, and some within CrossFit. And now he's going to pick a CEO. And so the chairman spot will allow probably for a better experience for him. It's certainly not less stress, but the view from the top is different than when you're in the trenches doing the hard work. And the CEO is the hard work job. It's the real hard work job. The trick is going to be if he hires the right CEO. That's how this thing is going to, live or die, or at least this regime will live or die. I personally believe the brand's going to go on for regardless of what happens here. I mean, Craig said it, 17 years in the industry. It doesn't matter who they put in that role. His gym's not closing. And there are thousands of others just like it. But if we want it to really thrive, he needs to pick the right one. I think he's a smart guy. I met him once, had him on the show once. He comes off as smart and brilliant. And I think, if he's got a good team around him, they're going to pick a good person. And, my hope is that they make it a collaborative approach. They talk to people like Craig and others and get input before they make a selection. And let's get somebody in that spot that everybody can rally behind, and let's move forward. Because ultimately, while we're a fickle community, we only pick on each other. We don't let anybody else come after us. We don't to be honest, I built my brand on making fun of Jillian Michaels, and Greg himself called me at home on a Sunday to thank me for it, because he had the same feeling the rest of us do. Like, we can pick on each other, but God save you if somebody else comes after us. That's where the biker gang thing comes in.
That's right.
And we need the next guy to get that we're going to fight with each other, but we love each other and we love the community. We want it to grow, and that's what they need to want too.
My only concern with respect to picking a CEO is what do the investors want? What are the people that are sitting on that board representing? What do they want? Do they want 10x valuation increase over the next 5 years? Do they want to take the games and make it this massive entity that's televised? Do they want to expand the affiliates and grow the community there? Those things concern me. I had the privilege of attending an event, a gathering that Eric Roza put together with other affiliate owners back in February in Boulder, and it was CJ Martin, it was CrossFit Maximus, it was Rhapsody CrossFit, CrossFit Flagstaff, all very tenured CrossFit owners and successful CrossFit affiliate owners that had been there. And we all, the one of the things that has stuck with me is we all had 5 minutes to get up and introduce ourselves. And we were told, introduce yourselves, talk about how long you've been here, and then talk about why you opened your affiliate. Not every single affiliate owner stepped up and said, I started this to help people. And these are some of the most successful affiliates, CJ and a couple of others. They're multi-million-dollar earners. And they started this to help people, and because they believed in the CrossFit methodology and how different it was from kind of mainstream fitness, and I think that carrying forward with that is super important. If we're focused, none of us were focused on profits. We're focused on helping people profitably. And I'm hopeful that a new CEO comes in, not with the focus on profits, but with the focus on helping people profitably, and figuring out how to continue it. I think it's important I also think it's really important that CrossFit continue the fights. We grew up in that. I personally grew up in that environment where we're fighting the organizations that were trying to license our trainers and keep us from doing our jobs in states and maybe even get licensed at a federal level. We were fighting against companies that were the beverage companies that were helping contribute to the obesity crisis and diabetes crisis that we have in this country. We do need a fight. And we have gyms that are still closed, in especially in Canada, that have been closed for a lot longer. And we need people to fight against those mandates and help gyms stay open. And that type of fight, if that was led by CrossFit, we would rally behind that and support that. We have in the past. I think that's one of the things that brought us together, was the fights, that the battles, and maybe some of them, not necessarily we don't all agree with, but some of them I think we all did. And if we have that fight, that fight, and that charismatic individual at the helm fighting that fight, I think we'll all get behind it. It'll be exciting to be a part of.
What is the bottom line to Roza stepping down as CEO?
Well, if there's good news, I'm going to speak a little bit to what Craig said there. The good news is there's a lot of low-hanging fruit still left to have. And so I do. And what I mean by that is, like, the expansion of CrossFit should be relatively simple for anyone who comes in. And so they should be able to do what Craig is hoping for, which is grow the business profitably while helping people, because there's a lot of people to help. Now, there is a breaking point for that for corporations. Usually most corporations or most investors have a real simple formula. You drive revenue and cut expenses. Like, it's not much more than that, and that formula works, for better or for worse. The good news is you don't really have to do that here because of the state of where the company is now and where they're going. So I don't know. I think for now it's going to be fine. I don't think.
Yeah, I personally think
Roza leaving is going to be a non-event for 99. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I think you're right, and the to the point, a little bit added on to the point that you made regarding profitability. I think CrossFit, what CrossFit has been tremendously profitable for affiliate owners, coaches, all of these small businesses that it has started as a result of the fitness, or as a result of the methodology, right? All of these small businesses that got started and the coaches that got hired, all of these people, we created careers, jobs. Here's the other thing that we did that I think CrossFit, and maybe they aren't overlooking it, maybe they know it, but they've created this huge ecosystem which has grown multi-million-dollar companies. Just as an example, RX Bar. RX Bar was sold for $600 million. I remember those guys at tents in regionals selling me giving me the little free sample, working their ass off. I remember thinking it's a fruit roll up. 600. They sold for 3 times the valuation of CrossFit. Rogue is a $1 billion company built literally on the back of CrossFit, and now is expanded into many other sports and is doing amazing things. What's the other one? Recently, Athletic Greens. Here's a company that just got funding and valued it at $1.2 billion. This is this basic dried grass. But again, it grew up in the CrossFit world. So then you have this massive ecosystem of people and affiliates and businesses where you can build companies. And I would urge CrossFit, and I hope that this new CEO comes in and doesn't think about the revenues they're going to get from the partnerships at the games, or the revenues we're going to get from the open registrations, or the revenues we're going to get from even from certifications. I want them to think about helping people, building more CrossFit, opening more CrossFit affiliates to help more people, making more coaches certified so they can help more people, and then help these companies grow within this ecosystem. Companies that have a message that is congruent with CrossFit's, and maybe be even partnering with them to get a piece of it. That's pie in the sky stuff. But there's huge opportunities that are outside of the norms of what John said, revenues versus expenses. There's other ways to do it, and they've done it. They just haven't been able to participate in it as much. I would have rather seen them taking equity ownership in FitAid or O2, the two companies who are really putting themselves out there as anti-sugar in their beverages, whether or not they have them, I don't know. But rather than partnering and taking cash up front from Monster Energy, who is owned, 20% owned by Coca-Cola. So partner with, and maybe take equity from those companies that they could parlay into a much bigger number as a result of the size and the passion of this community that we have.
Yeah, don't get me started on Monster. We go down that road.
I was going to say, we could have a separate episode on that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, John Wooley and Craig Howard, thank you guys so much for taking the time to talk about this topic. Both of you, such notable people within the CrossFit community. We really appreciate both of your perspectives. And thanks so much for chatting with us today.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.